So Annie, we don't know each other very well, but I met you at the cafe and I thought, ooh, this is definitely going to be interesting to hear your story, your experience, your dreams, because frankly, that's really important for people in general to learn about because, life can be exciting and difficult and it's important for people to hear what others go through. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I feel so seen right now, honestly.
So, all right. What I'd like to do here is I'm going to guide us just a little bit, but we're going to bounce around on some topics because from what I've learned, from what I listened to you at the cafe, it seems like you have quite a long nonlinear path and you've learned quite a bit along the way, and I was just intrigued. I'm curious. I bet a lot of people would be, because I don't know about you, but I haven't really talked to comedians. Can you share with us like the earliest memories of when you thought, maybe this is going to be my profession, or maybe this is something I'm going to pursue?
Yeah, so when I was really young, I think maybe even as young as 9 or 10, I used to pretend that I was a staff writer on Saturday Night Live. And I would spend the week writing a sketch, and every Sunday or Saturday, I would turn the sketch into my mom. So
Okay.
that was a definite, I've just always grown up being a performer. I grew up being a child actor in the theater scene in Chicago. My mom was a theater director in Chicago, so I was in her shows since I can remember. So I just always wanted to be a performer, and then specifically stand up and comedy. Comedy is just like me laughing or making somebody else laugh, just to me feels like such a beautiful, like I love it. Like the sound of somebody else laughing is like the best sound I've ever heard in my life. And I just wanted to find a way where I could share that feeling with others and also feel that way myself. And that's what stand-up does for me.
Oh, is it easy for you and your friends to kind of imagine and dream about the kind of life that you guys would like? Does that come naturally? Is it like a muscle?
For me, no. I actually, for the longest time, always regarded comedy as just like a fun hobby that I was doing. And then I started meditating pretty recently, like within the last year. And ever since I started meditating, I started taking moments at home when I'm by myself to close my eyes and just visualize myself as a performer for a living, like making my whole life from that. And it was only from doing those meditations and visualizations that I was able to start to take myself seriously enough to start to think, oh my God, I actually can do this. This can be my career. It's not my career yet. It's not the way I make money right now, but I now have finally taken it seriously enough to adjust every other aspect of my life to be in support of that. I'm at some point going to be a professional comedian, and that will be how I make money in my career.
Ooh, yeah. Wow. So this sounds like it's definitely developed. You've definitely developed it into your own practice, into your own.
Yeah, and I also use it as a way to, like when I get nervous before going on stage, which I used to get extremely nervous, I will close my eyes and I will visualize myself having a successful stand-up show. And I find that the shows go a lot better when I am able to do that. And same with like my own business. I never dreamed in a million years that I would own a business. Never once. And I started visualizing it and meditating on it. And because it's like when you want something and you don't know how you're going to get it.
Yeah.
It was just like, I know if I was my own boss, I can make my own hours and do stand-up as much as I want. How do I
Yeah.
become my own boss? And just like, I don't know, but I know that I don't know what the last step is going to be, but I know what the next step is.
Is that like a different language to some of the people in your life?
Yeah, it's a different language. And it's also like I'm learning the language as I go. Because
Okay.
like when I first started doing that, I would visualize like being on stage at Flappers, which actually now is like a very achievable small goal. But now that I'm starting to achieve small goals, my visualizations are, I mean, some might say crazy or delusional, but I visualize myself selling out Madison Square Garden. I've actually recorded my opening joke for when I sell out Madison Square Garden.
Really?
I have a
Okay.
recording on my phone of me introducing myself and walking out on stage, and here's exactly what I'm going to say to a sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Because when that happens, I'm going to take out my phone and be like,
Yeah.
look at this. I manifested this.
Oh my God, when that happens, I think I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna
It's
cry.
From my experience, yeah, it's hard for people to even get to that point of wondering, like, yeah, that is possible, right?
Yeah.
It might be a negative talk that's like, nah, dude.
Because it's also scary. Like, also, I think about a lot, like, what I'm, I guess, sacrificing in order to follow the dream that I'm following. Like, I've had relationships fail because I'm going after this thing and I care more about this thing that I'm going after than I do a romantic partner right now. So, like, I'm potentially sacrificing my ability to get married and have kids, and stuff like that. And I'm choosing to bet on myself. And there's sometimes a little scared voice that goes, but what if you don't get your dream and then you end up alone and then you don't have anything? And you just have to say, no, I'm gonna get my dream. And then if you're, when I worry about, like, what if I never find a romantic partner? Because at some point I would love to also have love in my life like that. But I just know, like, once I get to where I'm going, whoever my person is, they're gonna be there. They're not here right now. They're there. They're at Madison Square Garden waiting for me to walk on stage.
Preach. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the future is, but I do know I'm going to just every day wake up and do stand up and be the most artist that I could possibly be. And wherever that takes me, it takes me. Like, part of the reason why I said yes to you was because I met you because you asked our mutual friend for a comedian to be introduced to a comedian. Well, I love that that's how you see me. Because that's how I want the world to see me, as a comedian. So if you said, let me film an interview with you because I see you as a comedian, yes. The answer is yes, no questions asked.
How did you walk up, or how did you go from moments of being broke to then eventually thinking about starting a business and then starting it out and then doing it? Like, were there certain things or tools or education you pursued to go from those moments of being down, feeling down, being broke, and then to where you are now?
Yes. So I started watching YouTube videos about finance and about money and about success. I started watching any video that anyone made who was more successful than me financially. And I started reading as many books on the topic as well as I possibly could, just intaking information. And the biggest lesson I learned from all that was, when you are trading hours for dollars, you're at a massive disadvantage. You'll never, ever, ever achieve financial success that way. You can't be an hourly worker making an hourly wage, because there's a limit, there's a ceiling. So I've always been just on this, please let me make enough money so I could finally follow my dream. You know what I mean? And I realized that the only way to actually do that and put yourself in that position where you're in control of your own life is to own a business. I'm no longer trading hours for dollars. People pay to come to my studio. People pay me a monthly fee to be a member of my studio. And even though right now I am the only current teacher, at some point I'll expand my studio again. I will hire staff, fully replace myself, and I will no longer be trading hours for dollars. And that's the first time in my life that I've ever even been close to something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been trying to be an entrepreneur since I was 20. I have started and failed at many, many business ideas. I have failed over and over. I have lost everything a million times already. So I had that experience, because a fail is not really a fail. A fail is learning.
Yeah.
You either succeed or you learn. There's no fail. Fail is good. You want to fail. So I failed a lot. I educated myself a lot so that when I started this business, one, I said, this business will succeed. I just decided it's going to succeed. And I've just been like going after it with just such like a fervor and just not allowing myself, because I think my inner voice in the past when businesses have failed, I would just give up. Like, so I would hit a rocky part of the road and I would go, this is failing, and then I give up. But
Yeah.
I've hit many rocky roads with my Pilates business.
Yeah.
But instead of giving up, I said, no, we're going to fill in those potholes. We're going to drive right through. And that's what I've done every time.
Right. And then you celebrated with a rocky road.
Yeah. I mean, and now like my business, which started with $0 and 0 clients, has 370 clients and is worth 6 figures in
Wow.
less than a year.
Wow. It sounds like it's part of your mission or part of your values maybe to try and make it accessible.
Yeah, because I've had other people, you know, I've had people look at me when I was teaching at studios, like, because I was teaching at some fancy studios.
Okay.
I've had people look at me and judge me like I'm not hot enough to be teaching at this studio. And that made me feel like shit. And also,
Yeah.
you know what? I am, because we all are. We all deserve it. Every human being deserves to feel amazing about themselves. We all deserve it. And so I want, with my studio, I want it to feel like the doors are open. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've never worked out in your life. You're welcome here. We accept you. We're going to give you something that you're going to have. Like, the ability to move your body is extremely important. Like, I see my dad who's getting older. He's having trouble walking.
Uh-huh.
I don't want anyone else to ever have trouble walking, ever. I want everyone to feel like they can walk, they can live their life, they can enjoy, you know?
Yeah.
We only live once.
Oh man. Let's see. We have to wrap up soon. I'm
Yes.
curious to hear. So we've covered quite a bit in terms of life experience and hardship and different parts of life, and basically the different paths that you took to explore, to dream, to execute. For those who are maybe a little younger or less experienced, what are a couple things that you'd like to tell them?
I think the biggest thing is embracing failure.
Ooh,
Failure is, learn to see failure not as negative, as a necessary part of becoming your best. And you're gonna learn so much from every fail. You're gonna learn so much. And also, perfection, there's no room for perfectionism. Perfectionism is gone. If you want something, go for it, try it. It's just like when I try a brand new joke for the first time,
yeah.
I film it and I post it on social media. Whether it succeeds or fails, I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's all part of it. It's very important. And the minute I learned to embrace failure and to stop trying to be perfect all the time was the minute that everything I started doing started becoming successful.
Annie, this has been illuminating, amazing, and amen to that.